back here. I'm quite excited to be back. I have just been dreaming of this day. I have lost about 20 days, 25 days, something like that. Got some parts ordered, but have made no progress since then. My back's doing better. It's not 100%. It still hurts when I sit. The drive-in this morning. I have about a half-hour commute to my garage. That's why I tried to do full days, but I had to stop on the way to stretch because sitting just doesn't work. Standing's okay, so we'll see how today goes. My plan for today is, and probably for the rest of this week, is to do work that is standing. I don't want to do a lot of bending. I don't want to do a lot of crawling around into the car or any of that. So my plan is to stay upright as much as possible. So over in the, let's just take you over there. Over in the sandblast cabinet is what I started just before I went down. Here we have parts for the heater, the fan, the heater box itself. Almost through sandblasting. You see I got halfway done. This is an unusual fan. The pictures I've seen show that this part should be round and this one's square. So I'm thinking it's not original. It looks a lot like the Smith's one, and just gonna have to see how it works. I got some new brackets for it. Hold on, I'm gonna get the. Here we go. So these brackets are supposed to go on here somewhere. They're probably not gonna fit because it's not original. But I'll make it work. So they go on there somewhere. Point this in the right direction. Just used to have some sort of thing here, some sort of bracket here. It's been chewed off, it looks like. So I have to figure out a way to get these on there and make it work. You know, I don't want to replace the whole thing. A, because this is still functional and fine, and B, it's part of the history of the car. Somebody changed the sound at some point, and that's what it is. It's part of the history. So that's my plan. Finish sandblasting it. The inside's pretty rusty too. So here we go. So along with the brackets, I ordered these grommets. They come with these little crush tubes. Focus. There you go. So they go in here. And then the brackets go on those and hold the fan in place. So I'm just sticking them in there because I got them. So we got the heater core back together. And it's time to replace this switch. So I bought a new one. I also bought this new O-ring. The old one flattened down a little bit. You can see that. Focus. There you go. Not a whole lot of it left. So the new one should seal a lot better. So the O-ring simply goes on there. The new switch, new unit. Right back on top. Couple bolts, Bob Jungle. This part of the heater mounts to the part in the frame. There's like a rail behind the dashboard that distributes the air, and there's a gasket that goes in here. I'm going to use this stuff. This is squishy foam stuff. Art supply place will have it. My hardware store had it. They have art supplies too. So I'm just going to put down a nice chunk of it. And I do want this to be able to breathe. Put it on here and push down. Kind of an outline of what's going on there. Cut a little bit big. Cut a little bit small, and then you can always make it bigger. You know what I mean? My line's fading. Not bad. What I'll do now is glue it in place on the heater core, and then go around with a razor blade and just clean up the inside edge. I just hit it with my favorite spray glue. Spray glue. That place nicely. Razor blade has been just lying around here. In places short. It's not finished until you put the seal back on it, the plate. I've got two little pop rivets because it was pop riveted on before. And just like all good plumbing, you never know if it's good until you test it. So I'm gonna put it in, and I'll have to wait till the engine's in before I can run coolant through it to see if it actually works. It doesn't leak. That's plumbing for you. Yeah, so I got this all cleaned up and ready to go. And noticed a problem. The square bit here is a little bit too big to fit the new tube. I probably stretched the tube and stuff, but I'm worried about breaking it, such as happened to the original tube. So what I'm planning on doing now is make some slices in here, feed this area until it's round and the correct size, and then, well, A, it'll look a little more like what's originally supposed to be in there, and two, it'll fit the tube without busting it up. So, you know, these things happen. It'll be easy to clean up, repaint after it's done. So that's my plan. tell, I just painted these straps for the gas tank. Also made some D-rings for them. One of the things that these have, or had, are these. Little cardboard buffers for the gas tank, so the straps don't rub on the gas tank. So these are pretty shot. So what I found is this is a canvas board. It's actually artist board, but it's the right thickness, and it's really just cardboard strapped in canvas. So that'll be good. I traced it on both sides there. So that one's going to go right here. And then in the midst of tracing on a longer one, I believe that this one is going wraps around here. And there's there. So in the same thickness. Just tracing it out, and then I'm going to cut the board down to there. Going to take several passes. One trick I've learned over time is put your ruler on the side you want to protect. So these buffers were held in with, I guess, these tiny little pins. They have, they're split. So basically, this goes on here. You drill a hole in there. Then the pin goes in and gets flattened out. I have one wood chisel that I use for all sorts of nasty things. Everything but wood. Every time you get into a tight spot, it's sharper than a screwdriver. Like that. Gotta do the other one and the rest of them. Once the gas tank's in place, this simply goes through here using a special D-washer on the other side. It's a little tight, and not on the other side. That'll hold the gas tank in place. So I've started playing with the boot lining kit, or the trunk lining kit if you're American. It smells funny, I'll give you that. I have these laying over on the floor. These are the ones that were folded up. They're a bit, I want to let them, settle out before I try to, some of them get glued in place, some just sit in there. So they're laying flat. These two little pieces, I can't quite figure out. It's a bit of a puzzle. I have, the only instructions I could find was this picture on Moss Motors website, which shows, oh weird, it's a phone in a phone. I'm recording on a phone and playing with my phone. So it has this funny piece, but compared to reality, it just doesn't seem to want to fit right in there. So a bit of a puzzle to play with that. The rest of it involves bending awkwardly and stretching, and I'm not ready to do that. So I'm gonna leave it as like this for a while. But I hadn't really gotten these parts out yet to play with, to have a look at them. They look really nice compared to, well, certainly compared to what came out. And they certainly look like the right kind of thing to go in there. Hold on, let me go get an old piece and show you. There, now we compare. This is the original, and this is the new one. Besides being a little shinier, it looks almost exactly like the right kind of thing, which is fantastic. So my compliments to, well, these came from AH Spares. Every part needs trimmed, but it's easier to cut it than make it bigger. Anyway, it looks very nice. I think this is going to be stunning when it's done, but it's going to be a while, so I am not going to bend down in there. At least not yet. Steering column in place. It was not very easy. I was waiting on bolts to bolt it in place, but those arrived. It took a lot of fighting. Getting this grommet in right there, very difficult. There's a bump on the tip here. It's bigger than the grommet, so you had to put the grommet around it and slide it in, slide it down as you're pushing the column up, and then you have to get the grommet onto the plate there. That was very difficult. In the end, I managed, but whoa, what a fight! Okay, so with that in place, we can go around and finish up the steering in the front. If you remember, a long time ago, I worked on this right here. Hold on a second, let me move to the floor. Alright, so as I was saying, a long time ago, I was working on these guys. There's two short ones and a much longer one. The short ones go from the steering column over to the wheel, and the other one goes from the steering idler over to the wheel. That one just sitting in place right now. So pretty simple. They just plug in, and then they get these nuts with a special focus. focusing. These castellated nuts. There you go. They go on the bottom, and they get a cotter pin goes in there. So on the steering column and on the idler, there's 2 holes. The one that goes to the wheel goes in back. The nut goes on the bottom. And the longer one comes up from the bottom. It has the adjustment on it, but since we didn't change them, that shouldn't need adjusted. At least we'll see how the car drives. But the longer one goes in from the bottom. Gets a nut on it. If you liked this video, click the like button below. If you want to come along on the ride as we complete this project, click the subscribe button. If you want to make sure Google reminds you every time there's a new video, click the alarm bell. Your support is very much appreciated.